Dive into this newscast with the latest coming in from Pakistan as Maryam Nawaz has dared the Imran Khan government to come and arrest her. In a press conference attended by all opposition parties in Pakistan, Maryam Nawaz accused the Imran Khan government of being behind the detention of her husband from her hotel room in Karachi. Maryam Nawaz also said that any ploy to divide Pakistan's opposition will not work. She revealed that the state government was not behind the arrest of her husband. Instead, the order for his arrest had come right from the top. Maryam Nawaz also revealed how police broke into her hotel room in Karachi and detained her husband, Awan, who is also an active member of the PMLN and a retired army officer.
इज्जत दो वोट को इज्जत दो
मादरे मिल्लत जिंदाबाद मादरे मिल्लत जिंदाबाद मादरे मिल्लत जिंदाबाद अयूबी मार्शल लॉ मुर्दाबाद।
कैप्टन सफदर को धमकियां बहुत देर से आ रही थी कि हम तुम्हें नहीं छोड़ेंगे और ये बहुत हाईएस्ट लेवल से आ रही थी। जाती अनाद भी इसमें शामिल है। उन्होंने वो एक बहुत इमोशनल से इंसान है, वो बात कर देते हैं तो उनको धमकियां आ रही थी। और अगर कोई ये समझता है कि धमकियों से नवाज शरीफ मरूब हो जाएगा, मरियम नवाज मरूब हो जाएगी या पीडीएम के इत्तेहाद में कोई फर्क आएगा या वो मरूब हो जाएंगे, तो उसकी खाम ख्याली है। मेरे इर्द गिर्द जो लोग हैं जिनके साथ मेरे रिश्ते हैं, उनके थ्रू मुझे ब्लैकमेल करने से बेहतर है मैं यहाँ बैठी हूँ, आओ और मुझे अरेस्ट करो।
The PMLN leader also slammed the role of Pakistani army. She also reiterated Nawaz Sharif's accusation of there being a state above the state in Pakistan. Maryam Nawaz has warned the Pakistani army that this is not 1977 or 1999 when the army staged a coup in Pakistan.
तो उसने पे दर पे जो गलतियां करनी शुरू की, तो ये जो लोग हैं इनका तो हाल बहुत जल्द मुशर्रफ जैसा होने वाला है। जब आप ताकत के नशे में अंधे होते हैं, जब आपको ताकत का तकब्बुर होता है, तो आप दिमाग से नहीं सोचते। जब आप दिमाग से नहीं सोचते और ताकत से सोचते हैं, तो फिर आप ऐसी गलतियां करते हैं और अपने आप को आप पूरा का पूरा एक्सपोज कर देते हैं। तो हमारा काम तो आपने आसान किया, हमें तो आपने आज वो मौका दिया कि हम कौम के सामने ये बात रखें कि जब नवाज शरीफ कहता है कि स्टेट विद इन स्टेट नहीं, स्टेट अबव स्टेट, गवर्नमेंट अबव गवर्नमेंट, तो नवाज शरीफ बिल्कुल सच कहता है।
Following the opposition press conference, Maryam's husband Safdar Awan has been released on bail. The police earlier said that Awan had been detained for violating the sanctity of Muhammad Ali Jinnah's mausoleum in Karachi by chanting slogans inside the tomb. Interestingly, the arrest came in response to a complaint lodged by a member of the ruling PTI. The complainant also named Maryam Nawaz and other PMLN leaders who were present with Awan at the time of the incident. Remember, Safdar Awan had been arrested hours after a massive show of strength by the Pakistani opposition parties. PMLN leader Maryam Nawaz vowed to bring her father and former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif back to power. She also said that Prime Minister Imran Khan will be sent behind the bars. Earlier, PM Imran Khan said that Nawaz Sharif will be lodged in an ordinary jail and not a VIP one when he returns to Pakistan. Khan was responding to Sharif's criticism of the Pakistan army. Remember, Sharif is currently undergoing treatment in the UK.
तुम्हें यहाँ आम जेल के अंदर डालेंगे, VIP जेल नहीं होगा। गरीब आदमी लाखों की चोरी करे तो वो तो बेचारा जिन हालात में जेलों में रहता है, और जो अरबों पैसा चोरी करके बाहर ले जाए, बच्चे अरबों रुपए के घरों में रहें और वो जाके VIP जेल में ठहरे।
Let's quickly get in a sense of perspective on this news story as Pakistani senior journalist Imtiaz Gul joins us live from Islamabad. Thank you so much, Mr. Gul, for joining us on this broadcast. Now, that the arrest of Maryam Nawaz's husband has happened shortly after she lashed out at Imran Khan is hardly a surprise. What do you make of the government's crackdown on its critics and the opposition members?
Well, there is no crackdown as such. I mean, Safdar was arrested for violating the sanctity of the national leader Muhammad Ali Jinnah. And this is a place where you enter to pay respect to your national leaders and not to sloganeer and urge, excite or incite other all those present there to raise slogans and to become violent. So I think there was no other major arrest has taken place, I guess, and the opposition parties have been allowed to conduct their meetings earlier in Gujranwala near Lahore and now in Karachi last night. So they have gone about their program as they had planned. However, the sad aspect of the center...
Right. Mr. Kul, Maryam Nawaz has said that this is not 99 and that the PM will face consequences. Earlier also, Pakistan's opposition leaders had announced that they would use all political and democratic options to seek the removal of Imran Khan and end the military's role, be it no confidence motions or even mass resignations from the parliament. What are the options for the opposition and how viable are they?
I think the opposition has listed down its options one after the other. The first option is to resign from the current parliament. Nobody is ready to do that. The other option is to bring in no confidence motion, but they know they don't have enough numbers that this will not succeed. Number three, they will find it really very, very hard to continue the momentum of this political sloganeering rallies, just because of the prevalence of the mass media right now. Everybody knows to what kind of parties they are. Until some time ago, all these three major parties had been, and their leaders had been abusing each other like arch rivals. So they invoked all sorts of invectives against one another. So it's for a common man, it's very hard to believe that some sincerity of purpose basically has will lead them to this this coalition.
Sincerity of purpose, a very, very valid point that you made. That brings me to my next question. Pak's foreign minister has said that the Pakistan Democratic Movement is a temporary alliance because the movement lacks one leader or even one ideology. But what do you make of the movement and its massive show of strength that's been visible on the roads, be it in Gujranwala or Karachi yesterday?
There's no massive show of strength, this for sure, in cities which house several million people. And secondly, I don't see there any commonality in them except that they all want to get rid of the current government and basically putting the blame at the doorstep of the Pakistan Army. And there is no secret about the role of the Pakistan Army in Pakistani politics. They have made no bones about it, no secret of it. Now it's altogether different that Nawaz Sharif, apparently the former prime minister, doesn't want to return to serve a jail term. And that's why he has taken that maximalist position by attacking the army. And we'll see how the situation unfolds coming days and weeks.
All right, fair enough. Imran Khan also made the anti-corruption campaign the centerpiece of his rule. How do you assess Imran Khan's drive that has clearly been one-sided so far, mainly targeting his political opponents while leaving members of his own governing party or their allies largely untouched?
Well, I think several of Imran Khan's friends have also been made to take the back seat under the perusal of cases by the National Accountability Bureau. Yes, the main target or the major target of this campaign by the National Accountability Bureau has been the Muslim League and the other Pakistan People's Party. You know, our contention with this entire so-called movement is that these parties have shared power for the past 15 years from Karachi to Khyber in all four provinces as well as at the center. But Pakistan's indicators in health, in education, in rule of law, in governance, they have all gone down, worsened or stayed static. So my question as a Pakistani citizen is, if these parties were so democratic, so efficient, then why didn't Pakistan's ranking in all these indices improve? The only ranking that has improved in the last 2 years is of the ease of doing business ranking, which are, all these indicators are measured by foreign organization, not by any Pakistani organization.
So perhaps all those aspects that have been highlighted by you are going to be better addressed by the Imran Khan government in the coming years. For now, let's leave it at that. Thank you so much.
We'll see. Time will tell us.
Yeah. Right. Thank you.